Olá amigos, estamos de volta com o Terça Curta e dessa vez com um presente muito especial para todos vocês que curtem os curta-metragens. O baiano Daniel Queiroz Burity, residente em Nova York, trabalha com aclamados diretores, entre os quais Steven Spielberg e MARTIN SCORCESE. Seus curta-metragens, entretanto, vêm sendo premiados mundialmente e ganhando destaque nas mais importantes mídias, entre as quais o New York Times e o Huffington Post. O curta mais recente de Daniel é este que exibimos agora no Terça Curta, Hola Kitty, que aborda com criatividade e muita sensibilidade um cruzamento meio irônico da vida dos imigrantes em Nova York. Além de diversos prêmios em festivais de primeira linha, Hola Kitty foi selecionado oficialmente pelo Festival de Cannes. Confiram agora porque Hola Kitty é aclamado por crítica e público.
I came to this country 3 years ago, looking for a better life for me and my family. I work in Times Square, taking pictures with tourists. I work for donations.
Cookie Monster and now Woody from Toy Story, all busted in Times Square. Police say they're really imposters up to no good. CBS 2's Dave Carlin reports some say these characters are out of control.
Yo, listen, tell that fucking Jew.
First, a man in an Elmo suit was charged with harassment and yelling anti-Semitic slurs.
More characters were charged with crimes after a man dressed as Spider-Man was arrested Saturday night for allegedly punching a police officer.
So, Gutfeld, have you ever been jumped by Mickey Mouse? No.
Super Mario Brother was busted for groping, and someone as Cookie Monster allegedly pushed a toddler.
If you look at the way they conduct themselves, they are operating a business. They are taking pictures with people who walk by, and they're looking for money for those pictures.
I think it's okay if you give them money because it's not a lot of money. It's like $1 or something.
We wanted to give him $3. He wanted for more, but I guess it's nice. We liked it.
I think they're great. I think kids love them. I don't know. I think they're funny. It's nice to see them walking around because it kind of brings me back to what I used to see when I was growing up and stuff. Yeah.
The characters are very nice here. They are looking very handsome, strongest, powerful, like in movies, man.
People that are dressed up as fun, happy characters walking around Times Square because they have those costumes on. This is what we want to see. We want to see Hello Kitty and we want to see Batman and all that kind of stuff because that's American. What we don't want to see are a bunch of day laborers standing on a corner, speaking a language that we don't know because that scares us, right? That's going to scare society. Who are those people? They're the other. Whereas if you're Hello Kitty or Batman, you're just part of us and we're really glad you're here.
Like many Latinos, I came to America to work. To get here, I needed a coyote. I entered in the US in the back of a van. Sometimes I feel that I never left that truck. We crossed the Arizona desert by foot. We walked at night and rested during the day. The coyotes robbed some people's food, money, and drinks. Some girls were abused by these gangsters. I saw people die in the desert. especially children and old people. Others were caught by the migrant. I heard that some people were kidnapped. The coyotes made them call their families back home and ask for more money. I don't know if they ever saw their families again.
Explaining to someone the complication of the contribution of undocumented labor to our economy, we rely on a lot of stereotypes. So we may say, oh, we know there are undocumented workers working in restaurants, but there are undocumented workers throughout our economy. So let's take a Broadway show. Who's cleaning the theater? The janitorial service cleaning the theater may have undocumented workers. Some of the investors may be wealthy people who are also overstayed a tourist visa or undocumented, but they have money. My guess is if we suddenly disappeared or deported everyone who was undocumented in the United States, we would have less entertainment, less Broadway. Theaters might really struggle economically because that industry, just like any other industry, is woven into the fabric of our labor economic society and includes undocumented people.
Times Square and the Great White Way. Comes night
I never thought that I would work in Times Square.
night is transformed into a shimmering world of make-believe.
I like the lights at night.
That flash in dazzling array.
It feels like you're in a movie, you know? Well, I'm in a movie now.
I think psychologically, wearing a costume that's incredibly hot, difficult to move in, difficult to see, is, going to affect someone whether they're working in freezing cold or whether they're working in the heat. Their identity is going to be affected by this. That's what they're working as for 8 hours. That's who they are for 8 hours. And they have no rights. I mean, that's the other issue, I guess, that's very important, is they have absolutely no rights. They are a human being, they are a person. They are not being called that name for hours and hours.
Hey, Hello Kitty!
What it's saying is that as a human being, you're not worth as much as a costumed animal.
When I'm in the costume, I feel like a celebrity. Everybody wanna take pictures with me. In the costume, I'm not black, Hispanic, or white. I'm just Hello Kitty.
It has to be a remarkable experience for her because she's actually occupying two spaces at the same time. On the one hand, here she is, this absolute icon of popular culture. And in this case, it's not even American culture, it's popular Japanese culture. People respond to that persona, they respond to that unassuming, unintimidating, white-faced, smiling little cat. By contrast, you take what happened to me in Farmingville. I confronted some of what the day laborers that we were documenting go through. Actually, while walking down the streets of this small town, I had a car veer at me and say, "You fucking Mexican, why don't you go back to where you belong?" Now, I happen to come from California, so where was I supposed to go back to? So I can see why this young woman feels more comfortable behind that Hello Kitty costume, because her appearance isn't going to trigger a threat.
The best thing about this job is working with children. I discovered that I really like working with kids. I want to open a daycare when I come back to my country. But before working with children in my country, I have a lot of work to do with kids here.
I think the undocumented worker is today's invisible man. And in an article I wrote a few years ago, I quoted the famous African-American author Ralph Ellison. In his book, The Invisible Man, he begins like this: "I am an invisible man. No, I'm not a spook like those haunted Edgar Allan Poe, nor am I one of your Hollywood movie ectoplasms. I am a man of substance, of flesh and bone, fiber and liquids, and I might even be said to possess a mind. I am invisible, understand, simply because people refuse to see me. I think we refuse to acknowledge the undocumented worker in our society and the contribution that they make, and this possibility of invisibility, this willingness to look the other way, damages all of us.